Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 12 preview and predictions. We have got 9 matches that we're predicting tonight. I know that there is going to be a pre-match Wrestle Kingdom New Japan Rumble, but we don't really worry about predicting that. Pre-show, I should have said, not pre-match. But yeah, we've got 9 matches on the main card. We are going to be predicting those tonight. John, how excited are you for this freaking show?
Brother, I am so happy that we got to do this because it's like I told you when we were talking about it last night. You and I have been giving New Japan coverage for the last few years, and we've been covering Wrestle Kingdoms, I believe, since Wrestle Kingdom 10, I want to say. And, now this is the first time we are ever doing preview and predictions, I believe, of any kind related to New Japan. And it's so
Yes, it
fitting.
is. I can confirm it is the first.
And it's just so fitting that it's the biggest show they do, Wrestle Kingdom. And it's like I told you last night, before we parted ways. I feel like us doing this, it's like New Japan has officially become a part of the TwitWow canon, of the TwitWow family. And we always do hype scales for shows. And Wrestle Kingdom is truly what WrestleMania, I think, used to be and wishes that it still was on occasion. And that's an experience. And I got to say, for this show, I am a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10 for this.
Yeah, I was going to give the exact 9.5 number. That was the number I had in my mind while you were talking. And yeah, we were pretty damn close on this one.
Absolutely, because there are several matches that I think are going to be quite good. Even the ones that I may not necessarily care for as much as others, I know are still going to bring it by the time the bell rings. So I can't wait to start talking about this card with you. Let's get into it, man.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it. John, we start things out with our junior tag titles and I believe your 2017 tag team of the year, Roppongi 3K defending against the Young Bucks.
Yeah, brother, I think that this is going to be one hell of a matchup for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. I love Roppongi 3K. I love that it's, Sho Tanaka and Yohei Komatsu, Sho and Yo, with Rocky Romero as their manager. The packaging is great. The performers are great. The Young Bucks, I mean, what more can you say about them? They're the Young Bucks. They're established. They're one of the best tag teams, outside of the WWE bubble, I think, working today. Personally, though, and you're going to see a lot of subjectivity in these preview predictions, at least from my end. I'm kind of tired of them a little bit. I'm tired of the monopoly they have on the tag team scene. I think Roppongi 3K is fresh and new. I think they should win this match by all accounts. And as far as who I think is going to win, see, because it's hard to give it a lot of prior thought because this is a very different animal from WWE where we watch the weekly television programs. You know what? I hate to say it, but I have a feeling the Young Bucks might win this. They always seem to thrive on the Wrestle Kingdom stage. I want Roppongi 3K to win. Again, I think they should win, but my cynical side gives it to the Young Bucks here. I'm curious what you think, however.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you. I love Sho and Yo. I love Roppongi 3K. I love that they have Rocky Romero as essentially their hype man and manager. But at the end of the day, New Japan loves nothing more than to play hot potato with the junior tag titles as much as possible. So I really do believe that the Young Bucks will be winning here, getting the titles, and maybe holding them for like a month or two before they drop them to some other team. Maybe even right back to Roppongi 3K. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be a ridiculous matchup for sure. I'm very much looking forward to it. I really honestly couldn't think of a better opener for a Wrestle Kingdom than these 4 very talented performers. Again, I'm really pulling for Roppongi 3K, but I'm not hopeful, which sucks because I think this win, if they were to win, could really solidify them as the tag team to beat, not just because they have the gold, but the credibility to go with it in 2018. And I just unfortunately don't see that happening. But if it does happen, kudos to you, New Japan, because I mean, I adore New Japan and it would just, further prove that love is warranted. So we'll see what happens.
Honestly, I mean, even if they wanted to put the titles on the Young Bucks on like New Year Dash, I would still praise New Japan for keeping them on Roppongi 3K for the biggest show of the year.
Absolutely, dude. I completely agree with you.
That being said, though, it's time to move on. And John, we have got an absolutely insane match lined up here. We have got a 6-man tag championship gauntlet match. We've got the Bullet Club represented by Fale, Tonga, and Tangaroa. We have got Suzuki Gun represented by Sabre Jr., Taichi, and Iizuka. We have got Taguchi Japan represented by Taguchi, Juice, and Togi Makabe. We have got Chaos represented by Ishii, Yano, and Beretta. And we have got an unaffiliated tag team of Michael Elgin and War Machine. This is a gauntlet match for the never open weight 6-man tag titles. And I just want to know, John, who in the world is going to win this thing? This is crazy. We've got 5 teams, 4 different factions being represented, but only one team can walk away with these championships.
Well, brother, I was going to field that question your way, given that I broke the Wrestle Kingdom preview predictions cherry by, all right, first on the IWGP.
Well, let's just play a little game where we just kind of eliminate the teams that we think are not likely. I don't think that Elgin and War Machine are going to get the titles because I've heard a lot of rumors that War Machine are going to NXT. I don't think that Fale, Tonga, and Tangaroa are going to get. I think they are the champions now.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to retain. I really, really, really hope that Taguchi Japan doesn't win them, but I would not be surprised the least bit if they did win them. So then it comes down to Suzuki Gun and Chaos. I'm going to pick Chaos. I think Ishii, Toru Yano, and Beretta are going to take this away.
And Suzuki Gun are my guys. So subjectively, I'm picking them because I'm going to turn my brain off for Wrestle Kingdom 12. I'm going to go with all my favorites, as I know you are as well. Yeah. But looking at this seriously, I'm actually torn between Taguchi Japan and Chaos. I'm torn with Taguchi Japan because it is Taguchi and he can be OP on the big stage. Makabe is a beast, and you have to admit, Juice's profile has grown considerably in the course of 2017 and to start the new year, 2018. So I'm not sleeping on those guys, but Chaos, just to look at who's representing them again, you've got Ishii, who, come on, we praised the shit out of him for our end of the year awards. We all know what he's capable of. We all know how great he is.
Yeah, and I kind of hope that at some point in this match we do get Chaos versus Taguchi Japan, because I just want them to find a way to work Ishii versus Makabe into this match.
Oh, they will. We've got Toru Yano on that team, and he just got done, in an unsuccessful bid for the never openweight title against Suzuki, which we'll get to that later. But he can always pull a rabbit out of the hat and get the win. And Beretta, who just recently competed for the U.S. title against Omega and has been having higher profile matches. So yeah, I'm looking at those two teams and I'm like, I'm really feeling I would obviously prefer Chaos between the two that I'm torn on. But you know what? I think I'm going to go with the Band of Misfits. I think I'm going to go with Taguchi, Robinson, and Makabe to win the never openweight 6-man tag titles.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to pick them, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did win, just because for some reason New Japan just loves putting championships on that freaking Taguchi. I cannot stand him.
Okay, so to keep tabs on our predictions so far, we're both picking the Young Bucks in the junior heavyweight tag title match, and you're picking Chaos, and I'm picking Taguchi Japan for the never openweight 6-man titles, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. That's our predictions so far. And up next, we've got a completely meaningless match. It was going to be a Ring of Honor championship match, but now Cody Rhodes is no longer the ROH champion. So rather than swapping Cody out for a much more talented, much more interesting performer that would have kept this match interesting by continuing to have the Ring of Honor title on the line in Dalton Castle, they just said, screw it. The match doesn't need to mean anything. And we're getting Ibushi versus Cody Rhodes for nothing.
You know what? This may be my first misstep. Then again, the never openweight 6-man might be my first misstep, or junior heavyweight title. Any match could be a misstep with New Japan because they don't make me brain hemorrhage. But I would like to think that Cody dropping the belt kind of shifts the power dynamics a little bit. I think now with the belt no longer up for grabs, the story is kind of altered a little bit. So originally, if the belt was at stake, I would have gone with Cody here. I'm actually going to change my pick to Ibushi. I do think Ibushi is going to beat Cody here, and what should hopefully be a solid matchup. Like you, I would have preferred Dalton Castle, but I'm sure Ibushi can carry Cody to something passable, and it'll be a fun match. Honestly, after the 2017 that Kota Ibushi had and the inspired performance he gave in G1 Climax, I do think he deserves a little better than this. Here's to hoping that he gets back in the Intercontinental Championship hunt in 2018. I'm putting a lot of investment in that title. I think it's one of my favorite titles in the company. So here's to hope Ibushi can get back on that. But I am going to pick him to beat Cody here.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I feel like even though Cody has dropped the title, I don't think that the plans regarding New Japan's booking have changed at all. I think that they were planning on Cody going over from the beginning, and I'm gonna stick with that because I think Cody is gonna be the one to take the United States Championship away from Omega over the next few months.
Hey, I can completely understand that, man.
But God, do I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, that would be absolutely horrible if what you said came to pass. We'll see what happens. So I guess let's just move on to a more interesting matchup here.
Oh yeah, the next matchup is definitely more interesting. At least half of it is more interesting. Actually, no, it is. It's overall, it is just flat out more interesting. I was skipping ahead of time, and the fifth match is half interesting to me. But we're on the fourth match, and that is the Killer Elite Squad defending their New Japan World Tag Team Championships, the IWGP World Tag Team Championships, against Los Ingobernables de Japón, represented by SANADA and Evil. I gotta say, the only member of LIJ not being represented on this entire show is Bushi. I'm expecting him to be in the New Japan Rumble before the actual show starts. But SANADA and Evil, do you think they got a shot at dethroning the Killer Elite Squad?
Well, here's the thing, brother. And I hate to be that guy, but since you asked, I'm going to answer you. I think it really depends on how you see LIJ's night going. Because I really do feel like this could be the night where they either take everything or they lose everything. And I think if I predict one match, I'm kind of showing my entire hand. And that's where I struggle. Because I could see them beating Killer Elite Squad. I mean, look.
See, and I disagree with you because I have LIJ winning one or two matches, but not every one of their matches. And it's not like an all or nothing thing to me. And since you picked the last match first, I will pick this match first. I do think the Killer Elite Squad are going to retain their titles here. And the biggest reason for that is I don't remember the last time the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions retained at a Wrestle Kingdom. So I think they're going to change things up a little bit and have KES keep the titles, especially because haven't they only held them for like a month now? They haven't held them for very long.
No, I don't think it's been very long, but you know what?
Yeah. God. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I've got KES retaining here.
See, this is why I couldn't wait to do this, because like I really feel intellectually challenged for the first time in a while. Because with WWE, it's more like an apathy and like a fatigue. Like, just go with this one for the love of God, make it stop. But with this, like, I know New Japan, wherever they go with, they're gonna make the best of it. Like, they've just earned my good faith that way. Shit. Because it's SANADA and Evil, right, representing LIJ, and they're not slouches.
No, I mean, absolutely. I don't want to try and take anything away from those guys. They're both really good performers. I just think that it's more likely to me that we'll see them as well as Bushi winning the 6-man tag titles over the next couple months than them as a tag team winning the tag titles on Wrestle Kingdom.
You know what? I mean, you're probably right, all things considered, but I have this gnawing feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I can't ignore it. I'm going to go with SANADA and Evil to win.
Okay, yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think Evil, after the year he had in 2017, especially being able to challenge Okada at King of Pro Wrestling, that was a huge moment for him. SANADA also had somewhat of a standout year in the G1 and stuff like that, but I just think on the whole, they have more momentum than Killer Elite Squad right now. So I could see them winning this match. I think SANADA and Evil are going to be your new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's definitely a potential thing that could happen. Like I said, it's been a few years running now that the World Tag Titles have changed hands at Wrestle Kingdom. So all you would be really doing there is perpetuating a trend. I think I'm kind of bucking up against that trend, saying we'll see whether, the trend continues or if it changes up. But up next, we've got the Never Openweight Championship match. And the reason I said this was half interesting is because I absolutely adore Suzuki as champion, but His opponent is somebody that I really want to get invested in and I really want to like, but I just don't care about at this point, and that's Goto.
Yeah, brother, I'm going to save you a lot of time before you make your prediction. I'm just going to come out and say Goto's winning this.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, this is one story I have been following more closely because even on events that like weren't made a big spectacle of or we weren't covering, like I would find the video on say like a third party site or something and I would watch the matches. Goto has had a lot of beef with Suzuki. They had a bit of a cool down because Suzuki had to work with his fellow stablemate Yano for that little bit, but they're back on and it's culminating in this hair versus hair match. Look, you look at Goto's hair and you already look at Suzuki's haircut. Suzuki's already halfway there anyway from being completely shaved as far as I'm concerned. You might as well complete the
Oh,
job.
shit. I didn't even realize this was a hair versus hair match. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's a hair versus hair match.
Well, then you know what? I'm changing my pick. I'm picking Suzuki. Suzuki will absolutely not lose his iconic haircut. Like, that haircut is the stuff of legends. Goto's about to be bald.
I mean, here's the thing. This is a match that you know is going to reek of Suzuki Gun shenanigans given the stakes. I just think that Goto's fellow Chaos stablemates will bail him out, or even if they don't, he'll find a way to overcome them regardless. I think Goto's getting the Never Openweight Championship back, and honestly, I'm just looking forward to seeing a Suzuki match, and whether he's bald or not, I'm looking forward to the work that he's going to do in the new year, and I pray that that includes some Naito matches and some more Okada matches. So I'll pick Goto to win this battle. But 2018 still an open terrain for Suzuki, and he's just freed up without that Never Openweight title as far as I'm concerned. So
now, see, once we establish that this is a hair versus hair match, which I can't believe I didn't have that already written down. I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Yeah, there's no way to me Suzuki's going to get his haircut. I don't. And by the way, I'm reading here now. There is another addition. Stablemates are banned from ringside.
Oh well, then yeah. Again, Goto's totally winning to me. I think that's the whole thing because the story, if you remember how Suzuki won the Never Openweight Championship, there was a ton of Suzuki Gun interference there. And I love when Suzuki has matches straight up. So this may actually be one of the better additions to his canon, you know, as a wrestler. But I just feel like Goto's got it. He's the babyface. It's an even terrain. It's a campy step like hair versus hair. To me, it just screams that the babyface triumphs.
I mean, yeah, you're right that the stipulations really do kind of lean towards babyface winning, but I just can't imagine Suzuki not having the exact hairstyle that he's had for like 2.5 decades now. Like, that would be like someone beating Tenzan and making him shave his hair. That shit is iconic.
See, and it's fascinating to me, and I don't mean this like an insulting way, because in essence, I'd be insulting myself, but I feel like I'm employing logic that you would use in any other case, and you're employing logic that I would use out of desperation because I really like the guy. It's a weird situation we found ourselves in, but maybe Suzuki will retain. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Suzuki.
All right, I'm going to stick with Goto. Very interesting. You definitely raised my interest for this match more than just beyond, oh my God, it's a Suzuki match, and I'm so happy. So what's next, partner?
Well, oh my God, it's a Marty Scurll match coming up next because our next match is the Junior Heavyweight Championship. We've got Marty Scurll defending the Junior Heavyweight Championship against Will Ospreay and KUSHIDA and Hiromu Takahashi. And I'm telling you now, I picked him prior to this. I told you I wanted him to win. I'm picking him again. Hiromu Takahashi for the win, baby.
Before I give my formal prediction, I just want to reiterate for anybody that didn't hear it, because we may have some new listeners that are exclusively New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if we do by any chance, first of all, welcome to your new favorite wrestling podcast. And second of all, just to rank my subjective order, it would be Scurll retaining, Hiromu winning, Ospreay winning, and then lastly KUSHIDA winning, because fuck KUSHIDA. Honestly, the very
well, no. You forgot a few options, like the Meteor hitting the ring, or KUSHIDA having a stroke before he gets to the ring, or Scurll. I mean, really, realistically, KUSHIDA winning would be at the bottom of a list of about 80,000 options.
And oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thank you for reminding me, because yeah, you're positively right. KUSHIDA is just fucking awful. But I will say, like, yes, I am a diehard Scurll fan, but I did watch, and I didn't get to tell you this before we went live, but I guess it's more appropriate now. I did watch that brief Hiromu promo, that thing that he made on his Twitter.
Yes,
fantastic. Here's the thing, guys, and this is just me being serious. I am a Marty Scurll mark, but whether it's Scurll, Ospreay, or Hiromu, I've been talking about my 2018 wish list, which I wish I would have produced a physical copy of for my sake and all of yours. I want to get invested in the junior heavyweight division this year, like really invested.
And the only way to do that is to keep Kushida the hell out of the title picture.
Exactly. And if I'm being truthful, I think the two best people to really get my investment, and that's why I have them ranked 1 and 2 respectively. And honestly, you could even flip them and I wouldn't even fight you on it, are Scurll and Hiromu, because I love their personalities. I love their charisma. I think Will's charismatic in a very different way, but I'm telling you, when Hiromu was junior heavyweight champion, that's when I really feel like the division could have been at its best, and they didn't take full advantage of it because they got conservative and they went back to Kushida. Honestly, you really can't lose here if Scurll or Hiromu, Scurll retains or Hiromu wins. But who am I predicting? Well, I'm going to go by my own logic that I established earlier. I'm going to agree with you, Ashton. I think Hiromu is going to become junior heavyweight champion not tonight, on this show. So, yeah, Hiromu for the win.
That makes me so happy.
Nice.
God, I hope he wins. And really, I'm similar to you, but my order is flipped around a little bit. Like, Scurll retaining is third place for me. I have Hiromu winning at number 1, Ospreay winning at number 2, then Scurll, then about 150,000 pounds of shitty other options, then Kushida getting the title.
Oh, so you're a bigger Ospreay fan than a Scurll fan, though. I think you've mentioned that before, though.
So yeah, I love Will Ospreay. He is awesome to me.
I do too. I mean, no disrespect to Will. I'm just trying to think of like a vision for the division.
Well, no, but then again, I also know that you're a huge Scurll fan.
Yeah, exactly. Just as I know you mean no disrespect to Scurll, just you really respect Ospreay. I'm just glad that we can come together and hate Kushida because we just both have the division's best interests at heart.
Yeah. Kushida, maybe Kushida should start doing like shoot headbutts like what Shibata did or something.
I know, right? Or, he could just retire altogether, save us all the trouble.
Well, yeah, and that would also save him from the physical issues that Shibata is going through.
But that also spares us the entertainment. Okay, now I'm getting a little morbid. Let's move on.
All right, up next we've got our 3 big main event style matches. Obviously everyone knows there's only one real main event, but this is a triple headliner kind of show. First off, we've got the Intercontinental Championship match, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Switchblade Jay White. John, I've got to ask, did you see the promo Jay White cut on Tanahashi earlier?
No, I didn't, and I wish I did because I'd love to.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a link to the Twitter video, or actually, it's not even a Twitter video. It's a streamable of this quick little Jay White promo. The video itself isn't very long, but you need to see this because Jay White can cut one hell of a promo, and I didn't know the kid had it in him.
Okay, I'm going to watch this. I guess I'll be giving you guys live reactions, so let's do it.
Yes! That's what we're doing. Live reactions! Live reactions!
All right, guys, I'm going to play this shit. Hey, we're doing Wrestle Kingdom 12, our first ever preview predictions. We're doing it big, baby. I'm watching this promo. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Tanahashi's talking.
Yep.
He can rock a suit. I'll give Tanahashi that credit.
Wait till Jay starts talking.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. My future is my hands. That bell is going to be my hands. Ooh. Ooh, that's what needs to happen for to go forward. Ooh.
Oh my god.
I'm taking your kingdom. Damn.
Right. He's got that fire, bro.
Absolutely. Now Tanahashi's talking. I really wish we would get more subtitles. Hopefully they become more heavily incorporated in 2018. It's like I'd love to know what these guys are saying.
I love Jay White's promo style. It might just be the accent, but he's got the fire behind it that I really can get into. So yeah, I didn't just show you that for the sake of my prediction here, but I just happened to show you that, and now I just happen to be making this prediction. I think Switchblade is winning the Intercontinental Championship here. I've got him winning, and maybe Tanahashi can finally go get some goddamn surgery on his messed up bicep.
Okay. See, I'm just going to be forthcoming with everybody. This match, and the world title match, I am absolutely struggling with the most.
Oh, wow.
Without question. First off, love the promo. And what I really loved it is it's so different from American crowds because they're noisy. They're not going to be quiet for a promo. Japanese crowds are very respectful. So you don't have like that background noise and that energy. And it's not a backstage thing. So you don't have effects or this and that. I feel like all that considered, that was one hell of a promo. So kudos to Jay White. Kudos to Switchblade. You know what's funny? Like, I got a vibe, and maybe it's just me, like, looking at this through, like, a North American kind of lens, because that's the wrestling I grew up on. There's a real, to me, like, Bret Hart, Stone Cold kind of feel to this. Because Tanahashi's this established guy, he has that credibility, and there's Jay White. Like he just said, I'm going to fucking rip you apart, mate. Like, that anger and that rawness, I think, is just, just like a shot in the arm to New Japan. And I really like that. And he does have the torn bicep, but he's been working through it for so long. I'll be honest. I'm like 49% Tanahashi, 51% Switchblade. Like, I am that.
So you are that close.
I am that close because I could.
And I'm like 70% Switchblade, 30% Tanahashi.
Yeah, because like I could see Tanahashi like retaining here and then losing it on another show. But then, like, if you really want to make Switchblade, you give him the win here. God, I'm probably making too big a production out of nothing, admittedly. I really should just quiet my brain and go with Switchblade.
Well, and to be fair, too, let's not forget when Sho and Yo came back as Roppongi 3K, they won the junior tag titles in their first match, I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
So New Japan is not, they aren't afraid to pull the trigger on young lions coming back from an excursion. And this will be Switchblade's first big match coming back from Ring of Honor. And he's in great shape. He looks great. He's got this character, this Switchblade gimmick going on. I think they're going to do it, man. I think they're pulling the trigger. I think he's winning the title.
I hope he does, Ashton, because to me, and again, I love New Japan to death. I've said when Lucha Underground's off season, they are automatically like my favorite promotion. I fucking adore these guys, and I really do think you should pull the trigger on this act. It seems like an incredible act. I just don't think he had a really great performance at the biggest stage against one of our best guys is going to suffice here. I think you do need to go all the way, but will they is a completely distinct matter. God, I'm struggling so bad. You know what? Against my better judgment, I'm gonna go Switchblade for the win, but I would not be shocked, and I will be the first one to say it. I will not be shocked if Tanahashi retains here. I'm gonna go with Switchblade though, because I do think that's the better outcome to opt for. So,
yeah, man, yeah,
it's gonna be close. God
damn. We got people in chat now giving percentages on who they think's gonna win and what percent they're sure of it. Like,
I'm just so torn, man, and that's my fault because I introduced the percentage conversation in the first place. But like, so torn. I think it'll be an incredible match because Tanahashi, for all the fun that I like to have, is like Johnny Scumbag, that heel color commentary. The guy knows how to put on masterpieces in the ring, especially if he's working with the right people. Jay White seems like the right guy. This Switchblade character, who knows, could be on my 5 in our next installment that we do.
Hey man, I have mentioned before that I think that if Kenny Omega would ever up and leave New Japan the way AJ and Nakamura and the club guys did, Switchblade would be the heir incumbent to that top Gaijin spot.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see, man. I hope you're right. This is going to be one where I'm on the edge of my fucking seat, like with every blow, with every sling blade, with every high fly flow, just everything. I'm going to be thinking,
with every Switchblade.
Yeah, and all of that. So here's to hoping Switchblade wins, but let it just be on the record that I was very tentative about it. So yeah, that's that.
All right, guys. We're on the same side of this one, which probably means it's not going to happen, but we'll see. Let's move on. Up next, we've got our second big-time headliner match. No disqualification. Kenny Omega defending his United States Championship against Chris Jericho.
I commend these guys for the work they've put in.
Yep.
You've had Kenny Omega bleed. You've had conferences press conferences interrupted.
They even got Don Callis involved.
Yeah, like they've thrown everything but the kitchen sink at this. And I think you need to when the in-ring product is so straightforward and it's a foregone conclusion. I mean, Kenny Omega's winning this. There's no way he's losing to Chris Jericho on this show to me. I'm
Yep.
not even entertaining the thought. It's completely antithetical to our Intercontinental Championship match where I was immensely torn. This is a very straightforward Kenny Omega's winning. Should be a really fun match. And I'm not looking forward to it as much as everybody else is.
This
But
is like the 5th match that I'm looking forward to on this show. Like my top 4 are main event, Tanahashi Switchblade, junior titles, and then Killer Elite Squad versus Sonata Evil, and then this is after. Well, maybe this is 4th. I don't know. This and KES Sonata Evil are close, but I would probably put this ahead of this. So 4th. This is my 4th, the match that I'm looking forward to 4th most.
yeah, I'd say for me, I'm not going to go and rank every match, but like, I actually probably would agree with your earlier assessment that it's probably the 5th match I'm looking forward to most. Like, it
Yeah.
really isn't up there. But you know what? Like I've said time and time again,
Why is it that every year the match that I care the least about on New Japan on Wrestle Kingdom 12 is the Ring of Honor match?
I know, right?
Ibushi versus Cody is just like a freaking gray cloud hovering over the show, and when it's over, I'm just gonna be so happy to get to the rest of it.
Oh, dude, I'm right there with you. Again, I do think this match is a big deal for New Japan. I'm glad Chris is able to work this show. It's gonna be so cool. But for me, it's just like I know Kenny's winning. Honestly, Kenny with the U.S. title really hasn't done as much for me as I was hoping it would. I was actually hoping Juice Robinson would be champion already because he was really growing on me. But
You know what? I wonder if they would have done Juice Robinson as the U.S. champion if Jericho didn't agree to work Omega.
yeah, I mean, you never know, dude. Plans can change like that in this industry, and that's one reason to both love it and loathe it. But yeah, I mean, Omega's winning. I again, not really looking too forward to this match, but as I've been saying though, they'll suck me in when they begin working in ring because I think they're gonna give everything in there. Should be a fun matchup, and yeah, we'll see what Kenny's 2018 looks like, still with the U.S. Championship over his shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, it is finally time. Main event of the evening: Kazuchika Okada, Tetsuya Naito. 4 years in the making. Okada defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Naito cashing in his G1 Climax 27 victory briefcase opportunity. What do you think, man? Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first? How are we going to?
Let me go first because God, you're so beautiful and pure with your Naito fandom. And I'm just sitting here like, do I really go all the way? Because, dude, like I said, this match and the Intercontinental match, I have struggled with the most. And I only struggle with it because, Wrestle Kingdom and what I respect to a degree about New Japan, when they put the world title on you, unless it's a very rare instance, and even then it goes to a guy that was already really established, like Naito's brief run with the IWGP Heavyweight title that went back to Okada, like they fucking trust you, and you go to distance with that belt, especially Okada's current reign. It has been ridiculous. I have said repeatedly though, like subjectively, I want Naito to win. I'm behind you. I'm behind your reactions. I'm behind every Los Ingobernables de Japón fan. And Naito deserves this shit for the work that he's put in. But deserve is quite distinct from are you going to get it? And that's where I'm torn. Because like Tanahashi beating Switchblade, I wouldn't be surprised by Okada retaining. I really wouldn't be. He is their golden egg laying goose. He is their ace. That's why we call Tanahashi the old ace now. Because, Okada usurped him. Shit. But I did say, to me, I feel like Wrestle Kingdom 12 is going to be, and especially with their US expansion, they're going to be kind of defining themselves. And I do believe we are living in the LIJ era. So I'll say that this is more 60% Naito, 40% Okada. I am going to go with Naito winning. But man, Okada's just clawing in the back of my mind that he's going to retain with that godforsaken Rainmaker of his. But I really hope Naito starts off 2018 as champ. So I'm going to go with Naito. Now, let's hear what you have to say because I know who you're rooting for. I'm just curious when you parcel that out with looking at the whole terrain of New Japan if you come to the same conclusion.
Was I super behind Omega last year, or did I kind of accept that Okada was probably going to retain?
I think you accepted that Okada was going to retain. It might have been a case because you knew how behind Omega I was last year.
Yeah.
That you were like behind him for my sake, the same way I'm behind Naito, really for your sake this year. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
Let me
so
tell you what, man. If Kenny or not Kenny, if Okada, I'm just gonna not gonna use his first name. If Okada retains here, it is going to crush me. I am going to be so devastated because it really does feel like 4 years in the making for Naito. He got robbed at Wrestle Kingdom 8. He should have been in the main event. He and Okada for the world title. He lost to Okada. He all kinds of shit was going down. He went on a losing streak, and it wasn't until he went to CMLL. And hell, I mean, before then, even he lost to AJ Styles at Wrestle Kingdom 9. That was the first Wrestle Kingdom you and I watched, and all we could say was, "Oh yeah, Naito, he's like the Kofi Kingston of New Japan." But then he went to CMLL, and he came back as the Stone Cold Steve Austin of New Japan. What a transformation, right?
absolutely, dude.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and it really does too. It seems like Naito has been on this journey too, and he's overcome everyone else. He overcame Tanahashi, who was like the first big obstacle. He beat him to get to the G1 finals. He beat him for the Intercontinental title. Granted, he lost the title back to him, but he beat him for the freaking A block finals to get to the G1 finals to beat Omega. He beat Omega on his way to this because Omega prevented him from winning G1 last year. Man, and apparently DBK is yelling at me that it's 6 years in the making. I only know about 4 of those years, so sorry. But yeah, Naito finally going into Wrestle Kingdom, challenging for the championship. All I can say is I hope that our Wrestle Kingdom 13 main event is Naito Omega, with Naito holding the title and Omega challenging. To me, that's perfect. That's like, if you want to talk about perfected versions of storytelling, 2016 Omega Naito A block or B block or whatever block finals it was to determine who goes on to G1 finals to see who can win the briefcase. 2017 Kenny versus Naito in the G1 finals to see who can go on to Wrestle Kingdom to win the title or to get an opportunity to win the title. 2018, I mean, they're probably going to meet up again in G1, but 2019 Wrestle Kingdom 13, Kenny versus Naito, Wrestle Kingdom 13, title on the line. That would be like the dream for me. But right now, I genuinely do believe that Naito's time is now. I know you said like 60-40. I'm like 95-5 right now, thinking Naito has got to win this thing, whether it's because I want him to win and I'm blinded by that, or because it makes sense from a storyline perspective and it's like the redemption story, or whether I just look at it from like an objective point of view. Okada's broken every New Japan's record, like the IWGP World Title. He's broken every record there is to break with his current run. It's time to end it. It's time to pull that trigger, to put it on someone else. And there's nobody else right now that feels as ready to hold that title and carry this company into the 2018 year than Naito. I'm picking Naito. I'm sticking to my guns. And damn it, if he doesn't win, I might just pull the trigger up to my temple live on live reactions.
Yeah, and I have just a bit more that I want to say about this match, because I figured if we were ever going to have any extended commentary, it would be for this match above all others. First of all, James, I saw your comments, man. No need to be mean, okay? It's like, oh, I hope Naito loses now. I want Ashton's heart to rip in half. No, we are keeping that heart whole, okay? He has
Did you see the
earned
rest of his comments, though?
What did he say?
He
Let's go,
said
Naito.
he literally said, "I like seeing people cry. Wait, I'm pure now. Let's go, Naito, win for Ashton."
Okay, the schizophrenia is a bit off-putting to me, but more importantly,
Before you continue, we got a $2 super chat from Iconic Player One. Naito versus Okada is the ultimate anime battle.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing, because I've said multiple times throughout this preview predictions, which is the reason why I was so stoked that we're doing preview predictions in the first place. I fucking love New Japan. I'm so stoked these guys are expanding in the US. But if you don't have Naito win here, you might even get a rant from me. Ashton's a much bigger Naito fan than I am. I'd rant, though, because this would feel like what people used to say when Jeff Hardy was rock star levels of over. And if you wait too long to put the title on him, nobody's going to care. I had similar rants this past year, 2017, about Braun and Brock Lesnar at No Mercy. If you don't put
and Dalton Castle.
And Dalton Castle. I know you've ranted about that. This is the exact same situation to me. If you have Okada win, and I'm not trying to diss Okada. To me, he already has a Hall of Fame career, and that's horrifying because he's only 30, I think. But if you don't have Naito win here, when the fanfare seems to be at an all-time high, when the story seems to have that outcome perfectly aligned, if you don't pull that trigger, and I don't want to speak for you, Ashton, but this is one time I'm probably going to. I don't even think you'd care if you would do it a few months later. I'd say like I don't even know what the next big show would be after Wrestle Kingdom. But, let's say Naito would win it there. It wouldn't have the same impact on a lot of people. And I think you want to start 2018 really punctuating it strong. I think this is going to be an LIJ Wrestle Kingdom. I want it to be, because regardless of my subjective feelings, they're doing good business. I can't get that gif out of my head where Naito does the fist bump to a kid that's just so excited to be a part of Los Ingobernables. That's the appeal these guys have. The times are changing, and to me, Naito's emblematic of that. If you do not put the title on him here, that'll be the biggest blunder I've seen New Japan commit in some time. And yeah, I would even say bigger than when they didn't give it to Kenny last year. Because, to me, I think Naito is even bigger than Kenny, if for no other reason, because he's organic. He's not a gaijin. He's native Japanese. He has that identity, and it is fucking New Japan. I've had many friends say they don't want it to be all about the gaijin, keep it on, the more organic talent that way. And Naito's got that. That's why I think it would be an even bigger blunder in that sense. Like,
I've kind of worked myself up to this point that I really do. It's not just about Naito as a performer versus Okada as a performer. It's about like, if New Japan keeps that title on Okada even longer, it would feel like such a WWE move to me. Like, like Okada is the golden boy. He's like, he represents Roman Reigns in my mind. Like, he's the golden boy. He's the guy that New Japan has kind of chosen. He's the chosen one. And they're going to keep the title, and he's going to win the main event of every Wrestle Kingdom while he's around. He'll only drop the title on the lower level of shows, and he'll win it right back in time to defend it at Wrestle Kingdom and win. But then, like, Naito, to me, is more like what I want WWE to do with Roman Reigns, where they turn him heel, and he just is so damn good with his heel work that he eventually wins the fans over and gets cheered properly.
Yeah, dude, that's my thing, too. Like, not to be an asshole, but New Japan. Just because you're expanding in the U.S. doesn't mean you have to take on U.S. mentalities as it comes to wrestling booking. Take a chance on Naito. Have him beat Okada. Because here's the thing, too. Because I said if we were going to have an extended conversation, it was going to be about this match. Because this match is everything. Because, not to be hyperbolic, but I really do feel like whoever New Japan chooses to come out of Wrestle Kingdom with the world title, they structure that whole year around them. Because as I said earlier, when they put the belt on you, if you're a world champion in New Japan, they trust the fuck out of you, and they really do make everything about you. And I do respect them for that. But like, I feel like Okada needs this too, because I love Okada, but I feel like I could really get invested in him more if he didn't have that IWGP Heavyweight title. I'd like to see him go into a G1 without the title, maybe flirt with the Intercontinental Championship scene. Just give it a rest. Like, you've done everything. Like, well, DBK did have a $2 Euro chat, which I can read now. Only record left is the most IWGP title defenses. But really, do you really want Okada to break that? Does that really matter? I don't think so. Again, I already personally believe that the guy has a Hall of Fame career. Now, people could, fight me on that, and they're welcome to it. But the guy's done insane things with the world title. Give Naito his turn. I just know, speaking selfishly, I would be so much more excited for what New Japan has planned for the calendar year in 2018 if I knew LIJ was leading the way than if Okada was leading the way yet again. Because then I would just be thinking, well, who is going to beat him for it? And again, if it is ultimately Naito, why didn't you do it here? Because, and really, I'll be honest too, if Naito wins here, I could see Okada winning G1 Climax 28, and we do this rematch at Wrestle Kingdom 13, but with the roles reversed. I could absolutely see that happening, and I'll be the first one to say it. But I could get behind that because, Okada's actually chasing the championship. So yeah, I just really had to go out of my way and say, I may not be the biggest Naito fan, but good business is good business. And this guy is good business. And this guy is amazing at what he does. And he's put the work in and he's paid his dues. Don't fuck him over like this. I get why you did it with Omega at the end of the day. I really do. As much as it still hurts me to think about. Naito, I would see no reason for it whatsoever. Naito or bust. Naito for the win.
Yep. And I also agree with James in chat. I think if things go my way, Naito wins the title here. He maybe drops it for like 3 to 6 months at some point throughout the 2018 calendar year. He wins it back before Wrestle Kingdom, and then we get Naito versus Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom, and Kenny wins the title finally. Kenny has been like a main event player in New Japan for so long now. He's still never held the title. And even though I am the biggest Naito fan, and I'm not even the biggest fan of Omega, like I like him, but I don't see him as like a top 5 best wrestler in the world kind of guy.
Right.
But he's put in the work. Like give that man the title eventually. But right now, it is absolutely Naito's time. And honestly, I would love it if Naito held that title the entire year into Wrestle Kingdom, and Kenny Omega only beat him after this reign, like starting tomorrow, ends.
You know what I love about how you and I are approaching this? Like, we're really putting our feelings aside about certain guys, and we really are trying to look at this from a meritocratic point of view.
Yeah.
Like, if you're really working hard and you're amazing at what you do, get your fucking run. And like Naito to me exemplifies that. I am going to be so disappointed in New Japan, and I don't want to feel like that WWE style anger towards them, because again,
honestly, if they don't want to pull the trigger on Omega and they want to continue to have Japanese stars main event Wrestle Kingdom, and they don't want Omega up there again, Ishii versus Naito 2019.
Oh, dude, don't do that to my balls. Oh my God, yes, dude. Yes, because that's another thing too. You put the belt on Naito and you keep it on Naito, the feuds you could have. I think I saw somebody earlier in chat, I don't know if it was James or Asia or who it was, but mentioning Kota Ibushi in the IWGP Heavyweight title scene. Him versus Naito seems like there'd be some great matches.
I mean, Ibushi Naito, Suzuki Naito, Ishii Naito, Tanahashi Naito. Obviously, we're not going to be done with Okada Naito, even if Naito wins it, because rematch clause. Omega Naito, we already talked about. Other members of LIJ versus Naito, maybe Evil or SANADA. You know, there are so many options. Hell, even Fale getting his like random yearly championship opportunity. Fale versus Naito would be solid.
Yeah, dude. Naito.
And if Shibata manages to ever wrestle again and manages to do it by the end of the 2018 year and manages to do it by the end of Naito's title reign, Shibata challenging Naito for the title would be a match of the lifetime candidate.
Oh, dude, and the story behind it, I mean, coming back from possible fucking death to challenge the champion of the world, like, that's a bigger, more emotional story than the one Hulk Hogan had in 2002 when it's like, oh, can he get his final run? Like, I would be all about that shit. Yeah, Naito needs to win this, New Japan. He needs to win this. Don't you fuck him on this, because you'll be fucking a lot of us in the process. And again, I don't want to feel that WWE-style anger. I don't want to rant on Wrestle Kingdom on the first big New Japan show of 2018. I want to go out being reminded why I fucking love pro wrestling. And again, when you look at New Year's Dash that we'll be live reacting to on Friday, like they're going to lay the groundwork for some storylines. I'd like to know who Naito's first challenger is going to be, because I don't think it'll immediately be Okada. That's the thing. I think they could do a different challenger, but like the important thing is we have to cross this bridge first. And that bridge is hopefully going to see at the end of it, Naito with the world title. And prior to all my other predictions, Hiromu with the Junior Heavyweight Championship and SANADA and Evil with the Heavyweight Tag titles. Let this be the LIJ era, really, that they can all carry it in their own ways. I mean, Hiromu, you could have him work with Scurll, Ospreay, Dragon Lee.
See, and as much as I love that idea, I have noticed that Wrestle King or the rest that New Japan doesn't really ever give an entire faction every title ever. They always have like little bits and pieces of each faction with championships, which is why I predicted SANADA and Evil to lose, but then Hiromu and Naito to win.
It would be a great break from tradition. And to be fair, you are probably right, because I've noticed the same trend as you. It's just, we both picked these guys as faction of the year 2017. And
one of us, I believe you, believe it or not, or no, it might have been me. I think you picked Worldwide Underground, but one of us, that's me, picked LIJ as our faction of the year 2016 as well. So 2 years running.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, even when I come on board, like I'm seeing how prevalent, how dominant this faction has been. And
Yeah.
like, I just want this to be their era. New Japan could have an amazing year. You just got to say yes.
They just had an amazing year. They could have
did just have
another
an
amazing year.
But to me, they could have an even better year than last year because
Woo, buddy.
I really do believe that. That's the trust I'm putting in Naito as world champion, but they've got to put the same trust in. So New Japan, please.
It really could be like Austin's first year as champion.
Yeah.
That boom in everything, in money, in sales, in tickets, in eyes on the product, in everything. 1997 was a huge boom year for WWE, and then like 98, 99, and 2000 are the three most successful years in that company's history, and more specifically 99 and 2000 because that was when you had not only Austin but also like The Rock and Triple H and Foley and all those other crazy characters on top. And then like when Austin left in like late 2000 and early 2001, the everything dipped again. So like, yeah, you could have that kind of boom with Naito. And I don't know if it would ever be as ridiculous as the boom WWE had because WWE was in a massive slump prior to the push of Austin, which is why I always compare Tanahashi to Austin because he took New Japan out of a crazy slump a la the one that WWE was in the mid 90s. But still, Naito has that sort of anti-hero, more like an anti- popular culture kind of feel like what Austin had.
Let me ask you just a random question, Ashton, because it popped in my mind and I was curious. And I was curious if you'd know, because I think you read more and you interact more in different parts of the community than I do. Given that New Japan is expanding in the US, do you know who has more international appeal between Okada and Naito? Because I would assume Naito, but I
have no clue. I mean, honestly, if I had to guess, I don't know. Like, I can't give you like numbers or be objective, but subjectively, I would probably guess Okada because Okada has like the platinum blonde hair and the relatable gimmick, whereas Naito is kind of like the weird guy. And the biggest reason that he connects so much with the crowd is because he stands against traditional Japanese customs and traditions.
Right. But at the same time, I always feel like Naito is more emblematic, especially I would say more on like the youth side, like of the US, of just like, you know, this authenticity, going against the grain, going against these conservative attitudes. Yeah, but I could see why you'd say Okada would have more like mainstream, like international appeal because, you know, the wealth and the appearance and all that stuff. Because I'm just thinking too, like New Japan may be influenced by that. Like, who do we want as our champion when we're going?
Although James is saying that apparently Naito, or I guess maybe it would be LIJ, but it might be Naito, shirts are selling in Hot Topics and not Okada. So maybe you guys are onto something.
Yeah, maybe. I only ask because, you know, we also have to think about the business side and who in New Japan when they're getting ready to do this huge expansion, which I'm going to be so curious how it turns out for them.
Well, I mean, easy answer there is not even either one of these guys. It's Kenny Omega.
Yeah, that's
Kenny Omega is New Japan's answer. He's their key to the West.
But see, the thing is, though, like you've already said, and like James already said, that like you could see Kenny Omega doing it going into 2019 Wrestle Kingdom 13. And by then, New Japan would be hopefully entrenched enough in the US and have put enough feelers out and kind of figured their ways out that they would want to pull that trigger and then really get.
God, I wonder if we'll ever get a US-based Wrestle Kingdom. That would be insane.
That would be insane. And honestly,
even if it's not until like Wrestle Kingdom 25 or something ridiculous like that, like Wrestle Kingdom 40 or whatever. Honestly, I might actually have to pony up a little bit of money and see if I can get tickets to that if it ever happens.
Well, dude, I was just going to say, depending on our respective situations, I think we'll all have to come together and just try and go together because I would love to go to Wrestle Kingdom. Far before WrestleMania, fuck WrestleMania. I would take Wrestle Kingdom every single time.
Oh, yeah. Like, if WrestleMania was literally happening less than an hour away from where I live, I still wouldn't go to it because I just don't enjoy watching live wrestling for the most part. But Wrestle Kingdom, that atmosphere, those matches, I think that would be enough to get me to you know, inconvenience myself enough to go to the show and watch it.
Well, it's like I said at the beginning of these premium predictions, like Wrestle Kingdom is an experience, and that's what WrestleMania to me used to signify.
WrestleMania would be an experience if you were like a not wrestling fan who is like really casually just interested in keeping up with the ongoings of popular culture in general. But as a wrestling fan, WrestleMania is no longer an experience in my eyes.
Right, exactly. And New Japan could really once again define Wrestle Kingdom as an experience if you tell this grand arc and you have Naito emerge as world champion going into the new year, because they've got so much happening this year. I'm so excited for them, and I want to be even happier for them if I feel like they're making good choices. So New Japan, make good choices. Make this the LIJ era. And, you know, for me on the side, if you could give Ishii and Suzuki really nice pushes this year, I would greatly appreciate it. So,
hey John, can I sign on to that one too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But and yeah, I'm signing on to that one too.
Yeah. And so must all of you in the chat, or so help me. Actually, no, I'm kidding. You know, free thought's important. But more importantly, I am done with all the predictions on my end. I am so happy we got to do this. And I'm even happier about the attendance. I saw we had a lot of live viewers for this particular preview and prediction. So I guess you guys were also happy that we've really been giving New Japan this kind of attention beyond the usual live reaction / English commentary. And you better believe for Wrestle Kingdom, I'm not really going to care much to call like Rizlocks and this and that. I'm just going to be like, oh my God, Suzuki break his neck, or oh my God, Naito tear those ligaments apart. Like, I am just going to be absolutely rabid. I'm sure you are too. I can't fucking wait for it. And we're going live with that when? Tomorrow at 5, or when are our live reaction schedule, partner?
5 would be correct. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, guys. I can't fucking wait for this shit. It's going to be awesome. All right, partner. On to you to take us home, man. I've said all
right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 19 people watching now. We only have 10 likes. Remember to like the video if you have not already, as well as subscribing to the channel and clicking on the bell icon so you can get notified anytime we go live. During the outro, we got a $2 super chat from James. New Japan's Journey to the West needs Omega versus Naito. I don't disagree with you there, James. Of course, you can also leave other comments like super chats down in the comments section once this video is fully processed, as well as checking out our merchandise. Speaking of New Japan, I just made a brand new Naito-inspired t-shirt design that says Tranquilo in the coolest way possible. So check out our Teespring store. We have that. Hopefully it should be at the top of the store right there for you to check out and see right away and possibly buy. And of course, if you would like to join the official TwitWow patron Discord, you can by donating at least $3 a month to our Patreon. And that also allows you to control the content on our channel, request live reactions and that kind of stuff, and keep us continuing to do progress live reactions every Tuesday, every month. And of course, remember to follow us both on Twitter, like the Facebook page, and check out the subreddit. And we will see you all tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Wrestle Kingdom 12 live reactions. Stay tuned.